A Blessed Gift, Story 31. A Walk in the Desert with Our Lord, by Susanna Leong. I am a cradle Catholic from a middle-class Catholic family. Those who are well acquainted with me know that I have had poor health from young and suffered from many ailments. Also, that I seldom exercise and do not even like to exercise. Therefore, in May of last year, 2019, when I, already past 50, actually completed the Camino de Santiago in Spain, a pilgrimage journey that involved 125 kilometers of leg work, together with my husband and 2 children, those friends would know that it was truly an incredible feat for me. But God's plans are mysterious and beautiful. Catching me completely unaware, He led me through a transformation to give me the physical fitness and mental ability required for a long-distance trek, the most important things I would need for the Camino de Santiago. The Lord enabled me to take the first step of this transformation through my participation in the Gobi Challenge. One day in 2014, I was having a meal with a group of my students, corporate executives in senior management positions who had come to the National University of Singapore, NUS, to do the Chinese EMBA, Executive Masters in Business Administration. I remember that I made a promise to them that I would join them in the annual International Business School Gobi Challenge. I even assured them I would not regret it. At that time, my calm and cool exterior belied the fact that I was riddled with anxiety within, as I knew only too well my own physical strength and capability. Nevertheless, to keep to my promise, I embarked on the year-long preparation program for the challenge. Within that 1 year, I squeezed in time for my personal physical conditioning. Sometimes this meant getting up at 5 a.m. for a brisk walk, or walking at night after dinner, or reporting at the reservoir during the weekend for a 10 kilometers hike. In the beginning, even running 200 meters left me panting for breath. And the day after a 5 kilometers walk would find me in physical agony from muscle spasms and aching legs. The pain was unbearable. But slowly, I began to understand my body and could predict how my body would respond to the distance I was walking. Gradually, the blisters on my feet, the cramps in my muscles, and other manifestations of rigorous exercise became commonplace, but also bearable. The first time that I lost a toenail was a warning to me that I had not been wearing my shoes properly and had not tied my shoelaces well enough. During the training period, I received encouragement, support, and love from family members, friends, teachers, classmates, and alumni members. And I also came to realize that this arduous journey towards my transformation was blessed by God's guidance and protection. During the Gobi Challenge training process, I experienced several firsts. Walking 20 kilometers for the first time. This was an unforgettable experience at the Yangcheng Lake in Suzhou, China, where my students and I hiked till the sun had already set. But we refused to give up, as we wanted to complete the walk. Jogging 15 kilometers for the first time. This took place along the seaside of Sanya, Hainan Island, China, in the midst of a light rain shower, with the patient companionship of my students. For someone like me, who used to get breathless just running 200 meters, to be able to jog 15 kilometers on the beach was indeed an amazing accomplishment. Doing an 89 kilometers walk over 3 consecutive days for the first time. This happened in Chengdu, China, on a farm owned by an alumni member. I overcame my psychological barriers and understood more clearly my own physical limits, but gained more confidence to finish the challenge. I had never imagined that I could be propelled to complete 89 kilometers in 3 days, let alone being propelled into a team training session so far away. I was beginning to feel that as long as I could start any new challenge, I could also complete it. By the end of the walk, my legs no longer felt like they were part of me, and the blisters were only a minor matter. Just completing this training challenge brought such incomparable happiness and gratitude for God's blessings and protection. In May 2015, at the end of the 4-day, 112 kilometers Gobi challenge, some people commented that I had not changed much, while others said that though I did not look any different, yet my character has changed. I had become a tomboy. Regardless of what people said, I clearly knew that everything had changed. When I look back on the experiences of that year, I have discovered that transformation often takes place when you least expect it. And we are finally aware of the changes, you are already face to face with a totally different self. Those days spent trekking in the vast Gobi Desert stirred up many feelings and emotions. Out there, in that immense and boundless expanse of desert, was where the Lord touched me in an intimate way. Out there, in the infinite embrace of Mother Nature, I felt so minuscule and unworthy. There were days with a scorching sun and unbearably hot weather, with temperatures reaching a high of 50 degrees Celsius, and nights when the temperature plummeted to near 0 degrees Celsius, resulting in an extremely wide diurnal temperature range, as well as sudden gales and desert sandstorms. These uncertain and varied changes that we had to face filled our hearts with awe and respect for Mother Nature. We could only trust in the Lord's providence, each day putting one foot in front of the other. And it was precisely because out there in the Gobi Desert, there was seemingly nothing except miles and miles of sand that I realized we had nothing else to rely on. The tranquility of the desert gave me an opportunity to return back to basics. It was there that I discovered that one's joy and happiness could come from the simplest things. At the end of each day's journey, as long as we could return to our camp for food, water, and a tent to rest in, all these made us feel most blessed indeed. Each day's journey, though arduous, was bearable when shared with like-minded companions. Even if the day ahead was filled with unknowns and questions, with God in our hearts to guide us, giving us steady hearts and firm steps, the direction would become clear to us. No matter how long the distance, as long as we advance one step at a time, we would reach our destination. Isn't life just like that? Each of us has a personal GPS, that is, global positioning system, in our hearts, pointing out the way to go. For us who are believers, Jesus Christ is that GPS which all of us should be carrying. Don't leave your GPS in your bag. God will lead us to recognize our individual life's direction and give us a group of good mentors and friends as our traveling companions. As long as we set out from our hearts, we can definitely reach our intended destination. No matter how the scenery looks, the journey will certainly be joyful and abundantly rewarding. And at the end of the race, I will surely cross the finishing line with a smile on my face for myself and my companions.